We are building the Lego Technic 4x4 Extreme Off-Roader today, 42099. This is the very first Lego Technic set I will be building. I heard they're very challenging. I really look forward to find out exactly how they work. This set is made up with 958 pieces. It doesn't look like a lot of bricks in the set, but given it's a Technic set, I think it's a bit more attention to detail required, as all the little mechanisms will have to slot in 100% accurately, otherwise the whole thing would not work. This is also a motorized set. We have a Bluetooth controlled smart hub, 2 extra large motors and 1 large motor involved in the set. There are 6 AA batteries required to operate the smart hub, which I have already installed. You can see the light flashes on the smart hub when I press the green button. That at least means I have installed the batteries correctly, so a good start. The first couple of steps of the build, we will be making the internal structure of our vehicle, which is actually the most important bit. So I'll be focusing on that and make sure I do that very accurately. We will need 1 extra large and 1 large motor in the very first step. Let's build! I have finally finished the first step of our build. This already took over an hour to put together. I can definitely see why people say Technic sets are very challenging. Firstly, massive amounts of attention to detail required. All the parts are definitely the smaller tubes and knobs and wheels, and they tend to look quite similar. Not all of them are symmetrical. So definitely a lot of attention required to make sure you are picking up the right parts. Sequence of when to slot what in is super important, otherwise you probably won't be able to install things later on. So the whole time I'm paying 110% attention, trying to make sure I am reading the instructions correctly and placing things in the right position and direction. The difficult thing I can see with the Technic set is that I don't think you can afford to make mistakes. Firstly, it's very hard to tell if you make a mistake until maybe at the end when things don't work. Plus, taking this apart will be an absolute nightmare because everything's pretty much slotted in together and connected with pipes. It's not that simple to just pull them apart. I'm surprised the set didn't come with a brick separator because a lot of the tubes will be impossible to pull out. So to take this apart will require a massive amount of effort. And if you made a mistake early on, that means you have to take everything apart and start all over again, which I can't actually imagine going through that. I'm surprised this is an 11 plus set because I found it challenging as an adult. However, so much fun building this. I love it. I can't believe I waited this long before I tried a Technic set. I think this is probably the most fun I've had building Lego sets. I am now a Technic fan. Let's keep going. We have finished the first two sections of our build now. The second part is fairly similar with the first part, so it took a tiny bit less time for me to finish it, given I familiarized a little bit with how it works and how the instructions read. So far it took approximately 2 hours to get to this stage. Looks super technical. Let's have a closer look of what we've made so far. This is the progress we've made so far. As you can see, huge amount of details, so many pipes and tubes connecting the whole thing together. We have installed the smart hub and linked our extra large motors and large motor to the hub. Here are the 4 wheel structures, pretty much symmetrical on both sides. Wires come through on the top and looks fairly tidy. Really hoping I've got this right so far, because I can't really imagine being able to figure out where it went wrong without having to take the whole thing apart and start all over again. Full view of what we've made so far. I think it's absolutely beautiful. The last section we will be finishing off the shell of our 4x4 X-treme off-roader. Then our whole Technic set will be completed. Still a lot of loose little pieces left, so still maximum amount of attention required till all the way to the end. Can't wait to finish these and see the set in action. Let's build. Our LEGO Technic 4x4 X-treme off-roader set is now completed. These took, I think, over 3 hours to complete. Technic series is obviously a very different building style comparing to other LEGO sets I've built in the past. Almost feels like it's a complete different product. I think it's heaps of fun putting it together. It's a lot more detailed, a lot more technical, but very rewarding and satisfying while you're building it. The finished product is really quite big. Tires are massive. I can feel the bouncing of the tires. A lot of stickers. It seems to be a common characteristic with all of the Technic sets. Almost, I don't think there are any printer bricks in this set or stickers. So if you're not a huge sticker fan, I think that part you have to kind of put up with. It looks really cool. I think if you haven't tried a Technic set, definitely give it a go. Buy a small set to start with, because I don't think this is for everyone. I'm actually quite amazed how this is designed. Huge amount of consideration and technical knowledge will be required to make sure this not only looks good but actually functions perfectly too. Let's have a closer look at our finished product. After that, it will be the most exciting bit. Let's try out remote control function and see our set in action. This is our completed LEGO Technic 4x4 X-treme off-roader set. Look how big the wheels are. You can feel the springy function with the wheels. I can see how the vehicle would be able to climb over things with that function. Here is a full view of the vehicle. Very cool looking set. Not too many moving parts, so you can't open the doors. Seats inside also can't move. Very different to one of those expert sets where you see a lot of moving components with the build itself. The main feature of this set is definitely all the mechanical looking technical build inside. The actual vehicle is a pretty rough shell. Very few generic LEGO parts used in the build. Maybe less than 20 regular bricks that are used to build the lights on the top and at the front. Everything else are pretty much pipes and bars and tubes. Let's now have a look at our vehicle in action.
Don't forget to click the like button below and subscribe to my channel.